So I've had the Vision Pro for almost a week now, and I think just running with it every single day as I have, wearing this thing and checking out the limitations of what all this means, I think I can finally articulate my thoughts between this and also the first gen product of the two and have a better understanding of where all of this is going. I'm just gonna get straight to it, no leading up to anything, just straight to the point, starting with the bad. And we can't not address the price point. The price point is the biggest limiting factor when it comes to getting this new gen technology. And even though I can appreciate everything that goes with this and being able to do different augmented or virtual styles of computing, the truth is for $3,500, you don't get that significantly of a different experience. But there are noticeable differences that are good changes that I like to use. But we will get to the good part later. For now, I want to talk about not just the pricing, but its limitations. It doesn't have a big third-party app ecosystem, at least not right now. So everything that I have to do as a workaround has to go through using the Safari web browser, which it could be better. It's not bad, don't get me wrong. They have tricked the Vision OS to do things like what you could do with Mac OS with bringing iOS or iPad OS apps to it. You can install third-party iPad OS versions onto the headset, which, I mean, it's okay. That's how I'm filming off of this with the Blackmagic, but it is still kind of a workaround, not a full implementation of using Vision OS's hardware. The most noticeable for me has to be that there is no YouTube app. I love using YouTube. I use it every single day. I can't really do anything except go through Safari, which has its own .com limitations as opposed to having the app version of it. And I would think that you can use the iPad version of YouTube, but alas, I can't do that. Another one, no Instagram at all without having to go through the .com, which is an inferior experience as opposed to using an app. And that is my most used social media app outside of YouTube. And lastly, I don't really like when it comes to my own personal use case of using stuff like banking. My bank, Navy Federal, doesn't have anything on the Vision Pro. I have to go through another .com, which is fine. You know, that finance is a little bit different, but it's still a workaround. I do use the Apple Numbers app, their version of Excel. I know, but I actually like it a lot and I use it every single day. And so luckily I was able to use an iPad version of that on here. So it was good to do productivity work on the headset. And, you know, when I wear this thing for a long period of time, using this strap right here and having the metal in the back to balance it, even though this is technically a heavier generation from the first generation Vision Pro, I don't notice it. I can wear this for hours. In fact, I have, because outside of, you know, just having this fit me and doing work productivity and kind of tinkering around with stuff, I also watch Apple TV on it, which has been a phenomenal experience. Genuinely. I am now watching the new Vince Gilligan show, Pluribus, which, by the way, 3 episodes in, 9 out of 10, would recommend. He's the creator who created Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, and he did the El Camino movie on Netflix. So if you like Vince Gilligan's work, dude, anyway, that's just a short, I'm really excited about it, can you tell? But I sat and I watched episodes with this on, and I was in Yosemite. I was on the beach. I was in a theater. And when I was in the theater, I could have balcony and feel like I'm looking down, looking at something. Or I was on the floor and I felt like I could look up and watch the thing. And you could sit really close to the TV if you wanted to. You could sit far back if you wanted to. You could be in the middle. The whole thing was such a cool experience. That was a 10 out of 10 experience. That's where I see this is shining the most. As a consumer product where the iPad had left off, this is picking up where all that consumerism can exist when it comes to media consumption. So I would also go on Apple TV and watch the immersive experience, like I was watching this thing with the Navy. I'm a former Marine, so being in the Marine Corps and working with the Navy, I understand how all that worked. It was cool to it felt like I was back on a ship, to tell you the truth. And it was such a cool experience. Like, wow, this is neat. There are like sprinkles of hints of what the future could look like when it comes to this proper 3D immersion when it comes to consumption, where you could you can act or feel like you are sitting in the captain's seat on a ship, and you're like, wow, this is really neat. Or if it's more two-dimensional, like watching Pluribus, it feels like I'm in this new world, similar to what it's like being in the virtual Mount Hood of it all, where you can see Mount Hood in the background and all that. So like kind of like this, but you're actually surrounded, and the ambience of it all, I can hear birds and the wind and everything just going around my ears. And the experience is extremely more phenomenal when you are wearing AirPods Pro in my case, and having those on, that's around the spatial. It's the one time I don't have it as a fixed spatial surround sound. It's actually like engaging to the environment. And I get it. We're putting more and more hardware on us, and it makes us feel maybe less human in the experience. But when it comes to just entertainment and having fun with it, the AirPods, the headset, I'm assuming my watch will do something with this eventually as well. Or, the fact that I can like look at my phone now in the virtual world, wearing it does feel like I'm actually there. And, if my house is a bit cold and I'm in a mountainous terrain in the wintertime, like Yosemite, then yeah, it kind of feels like I'm actually there. But it's not that it's an uncanny valley. It's that it's so close to feeling just right, but it's not. And you can still tell because we're still early on. For example, the Avatar. This, it doesn't look real. And maybe it's not supposed to, but yet it looks pretty. This looks like some type of CGI rendering from the mid-2000s, Polar Express or something. Like, it's so close, but it's not real. How cool would it be if this actually felt like it was real? These hands, dead giveaway. These are not my hands. Where's my ring? Where's my ring? Where's my watch? You could see it here. I got it on, but where is it? So stuff like that. It's so close. But for $3,500, even though we are demoing the new scene of a new OS, it's such a high barrier of entry to get into that I don't know I can recommend this product really ever with limited third-party app accessibilities. Even with the workaround with the iPads, I have to use Safari a lot. And outside of that, there is a bit of a bugging out, crashing out thing sometimes, but I am trying to push the M5 chip to its max. I have so many apps that are opened up at all times, widgets stuck to the wall, photos, you name it. It's all, and I love that because it's really cool to see it, and I don't get the dizziness that I had before. And when I take off the headset, the world doesn't feel as dim or less vibrant anymore like it used to with the other headsets. So I do see there are some improvements when it comes to it, but those improvements are minor. The refresh rate, for example, when I go like this, I can tell that the 140 or 120, whatever it was before, like it's supposed to be even a smoother refresh rate. And I can tell slight lag, but that's okay. That's okay. Because at the end of the day, I'm not doing all this walking around and trying to like move around the world while I'm wearing this thing. Even though I could, and I have, it still feels a bit jarring. I still crash into things. I have, a studio here in my basement, so I'm tripping over wires or hitting my piano or whatever the case may be. So I gotta be really careful about that stuff. But the inkling of what Vision OS can do in the future is so clear to me, and I am one of the people that actually like seeing that. I can't wait to see glasses, actual glasses, not these fake glasses that you see right here. I'm talking real glasses that I can wear and have so much of this experience with. I don't expect it to be a one-for-one from a Vision Pro to Apple glasses or whatever they're going to call it. But the immersion is the most interesting part. I feel like a proper headset is perfect when you want to do the immersion, but when it comes to just floating displays and better third-party apps and stuff like that, glasses can and should do the job just fine. So yeah, there it is. I'm gonna pretty much say this is the full review for now. If anything new comes out of this that I forget to cover, I'm living with this headset through the holiday season, so I'm gonna keep using it every single day as I have been. But if something new comes out of it, then I'll report back to it. But this is pretty much it. This is a great toy, a great tool, a great everything. I can't think of negative notes to add to the experience. It all has to do with the pricing, the lack of compatibility with third-party stuff. There are workarounds, but there's only so much that Apple can do. That's more on the third-party people porting their stuff over to the Vision Pro. And yeah, I mean, it's still even though this is a Gen 2 product, it's still an earlier version of it. So hopefully future refinements from this is everything that would address all those issues that we can see, because I can genuinely see a future where having Vision OS as your main consumption OS is the way to go outside of an iPad. Because right now my iPad is all those things. I watch all my YouTube, do all my social media, do all my productivity. I do everything on my iPad. I would say I'm an iPad first kind of guy, and then I use my Mac for all things YouTube and music related and podcast related. But outside of just those little moments throughout the day, it's always iPad first for me. And I can see a future where the Vision Pro or some type of Vision OS compatible device can be the consumption first product. So hopefully we see that future. Hopefully. But yeah, I've now been recording raw. This is going for 14 minutes. I don't feel a thing. And before, I couldn't do 10 minutes without getting a headache and wanting to take the thing off. So these are the improvements I'm talking about. Apple's hardware has been just chef's kiss for such a long time. So good job, Apple. Keep working towards making this a cheaper product, make a cheaper Vision headset. Let's do glasses, let's do all those things. And I can't wait to see Vision OS on more things, because I am a believer in it now. And if you made it this far, here's a post-video treat for you. My reaction to generating what I thought was going to be a thumbnail. It didn't work out. Okay. I'm laughing so hard I'm losing my fit. Good job. It should have been on my face. Good job, Image Playground, or specifically ChatGPT. I said make an image of me wearing the Apple Vision Pro, and I'm in awe. There I am, eyeing it up. Okay. Good job.